Hi, welcome back. Let's continue building on our knowledge of points and equations of lines that describe those points. Up until now, we've dealt with plotting points, and we've just gotten to creating lines that go through those points. Now let's extend our discussion further by taking a set of points and using them to figure out what the equation of a line is. The equation we're going to be working with now is called the slope-intercept form of a line. It takes the following form. Y is equal to mx plus b. M is slope that we've been working with up to this point, and b is the y-intercept. And in simple terms, the y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis, which will be the point where x is 0. You can see an illustration of that here. And we know it has to be 0 because for any other value of x, the y value will not be on the y-intercept. And while we're taking a look at this example, we see that the equation for it is pretty simple. We have y is equal to 2x plus 1. So it's pretty much already in the form of the equation. But let's say they didn't give us the equation, and they just gave us a set of points. Only 2 are shown on the graph here, but let's say they gave us a table of a few points, as shown on the right, but again, only the points, not the equation. We know from previous lectures that we can find the slope of a line by taking 2 points and taking the difference between the y values of those points and dividing it by the difference in the x values of those points. So let's try that with the first and the third points. The difference in the y values of these 2 points is 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2, and the difference between the x values of these same points is 1 minus 0. That tells us that the slope, m, is equal to 2. If you look at the equation again, you can see that that's exactly the case, and this confirms it. So we found the slope of this line. And again, let's say we don't have the equation. Starting at any point on the line, we can go in either direction and evaluate the rise over run and plot additional points. If we do that here and create a graph of the line, we know that the point on which the line crosses the y-intercept has to be when x is equal to 0. We can see from the graph here that when x is equal to 0, the line crosses the y-intercept at 1. And since positives and negatives matter here, the line crosses the y-intercept at positive 1. So now we know that the slope is equal to 2 and the y-intercept is equal to 1. So to write the equation of this line in the form of y is equal to mx plus b, we can write y is equal to, we know the slope m is 2, so y is equal to 2x plus 1, which is the y-intercept. Let's go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, we'll work some practice problems to reinforce these concepts.